If you're not hitting a lot of line drives and you want to increase it, I advise you to watch until the end of this video, because in this video I'm going to share with you the 3 things that allow this player that you're seeing on screen to increase his line drive percentage about 13% very quickly. So in this video I'm going to share with you the entire process. I'm going to walk you through A to Z on the things that we did to increase his line drive percentage, but more importantly his slugging percentage, and allow him to be the top of his team in hitting. So with that said, on the left hand side was the first video in which they sent to me, and I'll show it to you right now. And you can see here he had the leg kick, his hands would go down, and then he would ride that back leg, his hands would go back, and then he would work to the baseball. And so they wanted to try to increase power, but what that ended up doing to him was making him very inconsistent. And here's what he looked like in game. As you can see here, you can see that he did the leg kick, and then you can see how he's stepping out a little bit, and then you can see how he's getting on that front foot, coming around the baseball, and there wasn't proper extension through the baseball. And this caused them to hit a lot of ground balls, pop balls up, and be very inconsistent. So his parents reached out, and here is what he looks like now. You can see that he does still have the leg kick. You can see that his hands stay in the same position. You can see his front foot gets down, and you can see how he works to the baseball and through the baseball now with proper extension, allowing him to make more solid hard contact. And here's what he looks like now in game. But what you'll see now, you can see that he does the leg kick. You can see that when his front foot hits the ground, you see he stays pretty balanced. You can see how he works to the baseball and through the baseball and stays behind it, allowing him to drive the baseball and hit more line drives. And here's the proof. When we first started working together, he had a 10% line drive percentage, he had a 42% fly ball percentage, and he has a 47% ground ball percentage. But now you can see that he has a 23% line drive percentage, a 33% fly ball percentage, and a 42% ground ball percentage. His ground ball percentage is still a little bit higher than I would like, and so we're working on that. We want to increase his fly ball percentage and increase his line drive percentage just a little bit more. But overall, his slugging has went up, his average has went up, and you can see how he's leaving his peers behind. So what did we do? Well, the first thing we did was eliminate any unnecessary movements. As you can see here on the left hand side, you can see that his hands were moving all over the place, and you can see that his lower half was moving a lot, and he was trying to create power, right? And this caused him to be super inconsistent. So I told them, I said, hey, the goal is to square up baseballs. The goal is to get barrel to the ball. The more you can do that, the more success you're going to have. And so we really toned down his movement so that he's able to get the barrel to the baseball more consistently, and that will result to more extra base hits, more line drives, and a higher slugging percentage. And you can see here there is still movement in that he does the leg kick, but it's not as much as before, right? And you can see how his movements have just simmered down from all this right here to this right here. They're all calmed down, and it's allowing him now to just get more barrel to the baseball just because he's not moving so much. Now, the next thing we focused on was his top hand. The top hand creates the path of the swing and controls the barrel. And the more direct and the more better you get at doing this, the more hard contact you're going to have. And so we really focused on his top hand going to the baseball. And as you can see here, his hands moving all over the place, okay? But you can see here the barrel really doesn't work towards the baseball, and he even hits it below the baseball because his bottom hand is doing most of the work, as opposed to his top hand being more to the baseball or being more direct to the baseball. And you can see here there's a difference. You can see how, look at his top hand, and look how his top hand works more inside the baseball, but more importantly inside of his body, tight to his body, pulling his hands in, and then works to the baseball. You see how the ball is coming in right here, and you can see how he's literally getting on plane to the baseball and that's allowing him to now make more solid hard contact because his bat plane has improved so much that it's allowing him to hit more line drives. Okay, and so what you'll see here is that the bottom hand is pulling, and you'll get this little arm bar that's going on here because of that. But you'll see here, his hands are tight to his body, and then he's working inside the baseball, into the baseball as well. Now, the last thing we focused on was the extension. As you can see here on the left-hand side, he gets to the baseball, but then you can see how right when he hits it, he starts to take his top hand off the baseball, and this causes him to get that weak contact and doesn't allow him to power through it so that he's able to drive the baseball. But you'll see here on contact, you can see how he gets to the ball, but you can see how he still pushes long through it, giving him a bat path that allows him to hit for more power and drive through the baseball because he's getting proper extension through it. And you can see it on this swing. You can see how once he finishes his swing, you can see how the hand starts to come off of it. You see how here the hand just flies off of it, and he doesn't really get that length through the zone. And you can see here, here's the difference. You can see how when he gets to the baseball, you can see how that front foot gets down, and you can see how he works to the baseball, but you can see how he pushes through it with that top hand, allowing him to punish the baseball. And this is how he's been able to drive the baseball more consistently. He's been more accurate, and we're going to get him to decrease that ground ball rate and increase that fly ball rate, which is going to turn him into a very dominant hitter. So overall, he's already seeing a great change, and this is less than 30 days, and we're going to continue to improve, and there's going to be drastic changes to his game. So with that being said, I appreciate you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and take advantage of the free swing breakdown, which is in the description or in the comment section. It's only going to continue to go for a limited time, so take advantage while you still can. I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.